The best riders, the ones who win MotoGP and ride around the world, are still afraid.
But as riders, we're told that fear is bad. Fear will make you crash. If you're afraid, you're not ready. Well, the research says fear is a healthy thing and you should never, ever try to lose it. G'day, I'm David from Two Wheels In. Motorcycling has performance issues. Not too little, too much. Our culture celebrates riders who are fearless, unshakable, calm under pressure. You're supposed to outgrow fear, like strong opinions about coffee or your first beard. But what if that's backwards? What if fear isn't the obstacle to good riding, but the mechanism? What if the riders who are still riding are the riders who actually feel something?
Fear is not your enemy. It's your most underrated skill. And the science behind it isn't even close to ambiguous.
5 reasons, 1 thesis. Let's go.
There's a moment every rider knows. You're approaching a junction. Something feels off. You can't name it yet, but your hands have already tightened on the bars. You've already rolled off the throttle. And half a second later, there it is. A car pulls out, a patch of gravel. Whatever it was, you were already responding before you understood what you were responding to.
That's not instinct. It's not some mystical sixth sense you unlock after enough kilometres. It's a process, and it has a name.
In the 1990s, Antonio Damasio, a neuroscientist, proposed something called the somatic marker hypothesis.
Short version, your body keeps score. Good outcome, positive marker. Bad outcome, negative one. And the next time you encounter a similar situation, your body fires that marker before your conscious mind has even started processing.
That feeling at the junction, that's a somatic marker. Your nervous system running a threat assessment faster than language can. The gut arrived before the brain even packed its bags.
Most riders treat that feeling as a problem, as something to push through, something that separates the confident riders from the nervous ones. And that framing is everywhere in motorcycling. Confidence is good. Fear is the stage you're supposed to graduate from, right?
But Damasio's work says the opposite. That signal is your fastest, most honest instrument. It's reading the road before your ego gets involved, before your narrative about what kind of rider you are raises its head.
Strip it back, and fear is just data arriving ahead of schedule. The riders who learn to read it don't ride scared, they ride informed. The overconfident riders just ride deaf. There's a graph that gets used in psychology. It's called the Yerkes-Dodson curve, and it's super relevant to motorcycling. It maps performance against arousal. And yes, they really use those terms, Tiger.
Basically, too little arousal and you're bored, inattentive, sloppy. Too much, you're overwhelmed, rigid, slow. Performance peaks in the middle. Moderate stress, moderate alertness. The zone where you're switched on, but not locked up.
Every rider, myself included, has felt both ends of this.
The commute you've done 900 times. You arrive home, park the bike, take off your gloves, and realise you can't remember a single junction. That's the left side of the curve. Your brain has downgraded the ride to screensaver. You're physically present and mentally doing your taxes. And then there's the challenging mountain road in the mist, with a loaded bike and a surface you don't trust. Grip tension climbing, vision narrowing. You're not reading the road anymore, you're just surviving it. That's the right side. All signal, no processing. Skilled riding lives in the middle. That state where you're alert enough to scan, calm enough to process, and responsive enough to act on what you find.
It's not relaxation, it's not panic. It's a kind of an organised tension. The brain humming along at exactly the frequency the road demands.
And here's the thing that no one tells new riders. You don't reach that state by eliminating fear. You reach it by having exactly the right amount. Fear is what keeps you on the curve. Too little and you drift left into complacency. Too much and you lock up on the right.
The goal isn't calm, the goal is calibration. This one's uncomfortable, but the research is clear. In the 1980s, a psychologist named Gerhard Weil proposed something called the risk homeostasis theory. The idea is simple and slightly unsettling. People maintain a target level of risk. Make them safer and they compensate. Not deliberately, not consciously, but reliably. Like a thermostat, someone keeps nudging back to the same temperature.
Seatbelt laws didn't reduce overall traffic fatalities the way the models predicted. ABS brakes led to shorter following distances. Ski helmets correlated with faster runs.
Every safety intervention told the same joke. Here's your margin, and people spent it.
Motorcycling is no different. Better armour, better helmets, traction control, cornering ABS, rider aids that intervene faster than any human reflex. All of it good, all of it genuinely life-saving in the moment it activates.
But none of it changes what Wild observed. When riders feel protected, they ride closer to the thing they need protecting from. The gear doesn't make you reckless, it makes you fractionally less afraid. And that fraction compounds.
You carry a little more corner speed. You brake a little later. You ride in conditions that you might have sat out 5 years ago, not because you chose more risk, but because the voice that would have stopped you got a little quieter. And quiet, in this case, isn't peace. It's just a signal you can no longer hear.
Fear is the governor that technology can't replace. Look, you can build a bike that catches slides, prevents stoppies, and leans itself through corners. But you can't engineer the moment that a rider says, maybe not today. That's still a human job. And it needs to be. Think about your last 50 rides. Pick any one. What do you remember? The route maybe? Whether it rained? But beyond that, a great black hole. 50 rides, hundreds of kilometres, gone like that. Now think about that close call from 3 years ago. You remember the surface of the road, the colour of the car. You remember where your hands were, what gear you were in, and exactly how far your stomach dropped before you even thought of hitting the brake. 3 years, razor sharp. That's not coincidence, that's chemistry.
When your brain registers a threat, it floods with norepinephrine. The same family as adrenaline, different job. Norepinephrine doesn't just make you alert, it tags the moment for storage. It tells your hippocampus, file this one in permanent ink. Everything else gets pencil.
And this is the strange bargain about motorcycling. 1,000 uneventful miles teach you almost nothing. Your brain files them as handled and moves on. But give it one moment of fear, real gut-wrenching fear, and your brain rewires your riding for years.
The gap you will never leave that small again. The junction you always double check. The lead angle you respect in the wet.
Fear doesn't just protect you in the moment, it edits you afterwards. It writes your lessons in ink the brain can't wash out. The smooth rides feel like progress. The scary ones actually are. There's a myth in motorcycling that experience replaces fear, that the more you ride, the less you feel. And eventually, if you're good enough and you've done enough miles, you reach this kind of Zen plateau where nothing rattles you. It's a comforting story. It's also wrong.
Research across high-stakes fields, aviation, surgery, combat, shows the same pattern. Experts feel fear, and they feel it sooner. A novice pilot notices something is wrong when the instruments confirm it. An experienced pilot notices when the air feels different. The gap between the onset of danger and realizing the danger shrinks. The fear gets faster, not quieter.
And it gets more specific. A new rider feels a general wash of anxiety. Everything is threatening because nothing is familiar.
An experienced rider feels a precise discomfort about a particular corner, a particular car, a particular surface change at a particular lean angle. The fear sharpens from floodlight to laser.
That's not a rider getting braver. That's a nervous system doing its job.
The problem is what happens when riders mistake numbness for mastery. When the absence of fear feels like skill rather than what it actually is, which is erosion. You can see it in the riding, smooth, controlled, beautiful even, and completely deaf to the thing that kept them honest for the first 10 years.
Fearlessness isn't the destination, it's the warning light. So here's what we know. Fear is a signal, not a flaw. It arrives before thought. It sharpens under pressure. It writes itself into memory. And the more you know, the more precisely you feel it. Every piece of research that we've discussed in this video says the same thing, just from a different angle. The danger was never fear. The danger is the day you get on the motorcycle and feel nothing. Nothing at all. No tightening of the hands. No quiet check at the intersection. No voice inside your head telling you to pay attention. That silence isn't confidence. It's the sound of your best instrument shutting down. So the next time you feel that knot before a corner or a hesitation before a ride you're not sure about, don't push through it. Feel it. So if this one made you think, do me a favour. Share it with a rider that needs to hear it. Not the nervous one, the fearless one. This is what we do here. Slow roads, long thoughts, and the occasional graph about arousal. I'll see you next week.